G'day listeners, welcome to Bar Karate, the Sailing Podcast. This is what we're going to call a BP special. As you regular listeners will know, we sort of couldn't find him last week, but he didn't go too far and he has been around recording some interviews and he sent a bunch of them through. I can't find him right at the moment to intro any of this stuff, but it doesn't change the fact that we've got a few good interviews. So just to finish off the Hobart coverage, we thought we'd just do a midweek compilation, stick them all together. So I'll just do a little intro for you and tell you who we're speaking to. So first up, we've got two young South Australian lads I've known since they were nappies. So Silas, Nolan and James Patterson. So Silas was on Comanche and James on Ichi. Let's cross over to BP and see what he discovered.
Customs House, 2019, 75th Hobart. I'm with a couple of legends, as always. I'm with Silas, Nolan, and Pato, of course, James Patterson, who is actually Icy's brother-in-law. Pato managed to get IRC overall win in the Hobart, and Silas Nolan got over the line honours. They are both from Adelaide. We're all from Adelaide. Here we go. Silas, how are you?
Bloody good to be here, BP. I've been so excited to get on the Bar Karate.
Is that your goal in life?
Absolutely.
Good. Paddy.
Hello, how you going?
Say hi to Bicey.
G'day, Bicey.
So, Pato...
Do we need to say hi to Jordan as well, or we just wipe him?
Well, we love Jordan. You know that, don't you? Okay, so, first of all, I'm going to go to Pato because, obviously, the Tattles's Cup is a shitload more important than line honours.
Yep.
So, Pato, tell us about the line honours, the Tattles's Cup. Mate, good effort, good team, good bunch of lads, and you are a benchmark.
Yeah, I mean, the boat's incredible. And the team that we've got is just, I'm sort of pinching myself, always pinching myself, going, how am I here? Surrounded by awesome. Yes, thank you, Silas. Tipping me in. Yeah, the program's just next level. It's credit to Matt that he's fully committed to winning the trophy. We've been able to do it. Bit of luck as well, but you need that.
Yeah, well, this race is all about luck. There's a bunch of stuff that gets involved. The preparation is massive. The work that goes into all of these boats, all 160 boats that are in the fleet is massive. But to actually win it it's a huge effort. Over the line, Comanche.
Yes.
Silas, Nolan. I believe that's your name.
Is now, thanks to Gordon Bray. That's my name.
So over the line must feel good. Obviously with Moose and the guys, it's a great achievement, yeah.
Look, it's such an incredible team. This is my 18th year, and I've done 17 races on 50 footers. Last year I was with Ichi and had the opportunity to finally go on a 100 footer this year, but it was amazing. The crew, outstanding. With such an incredible depth with the crew. The boat is on another planet. It is absolutely on another planet. So.
I was lucky enough to get a tour of the boat today, and I can tell you, if you're trying to get your wet weather gear from the windward side, you've got a long way to go to the leeward side if you step up, if you miss your stepping.
Yeah, well, I just put it on at the start and took it off at the end, so it was fine.
Hey, where are Adelaide boys? How cool is that? Adelaide has taken over.
Mate, we run the show.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm not actually sure whether Adelaide people have won line honours and the overall ever before in the same year.
Well, good point.
So there was a couple of other Adelaide boys also on Comanche. We had Ryan Godfrey.
Yep.
And on the Ichi barn we had Davin Connergrave as well. So.
Davin Connergrave, Gore boy.
Yeah, right. Well, how cool is that? So we have always had a good pedigree with Bicey, and they got that Bicey guy.
Who is that guy?
Who is that guy? Jordan Spencer, the 505 world champion and world guru.
Yes.
And world super coach.
Yeah.
But we've always had a good bunch of lads, and I guess this shows it. So we have, for the first time ever, a Adelaide person winning overall on IRC and also over the line. So well done, guys, and we'll catch up with you later. Cheers.
Thanks, BP.
Thanks, BP. Cheers.
Yeah, good work, blokes. That was good. Silas, this won't be your only chance on bar karate, mate. Good to hear, BP. Nice get there. So he's been busy. He's also got Paddy Broughton, who is the owner of Kialoa too. So we'll just cross over and have a listen to the conversation there as well.
Wow. So, as I said earlier, I'm in the Shipwright Arms and bumped into an old mate of mine, Paddy Broughton, and happens to be one of probably the best Grand Prix sailors that we've seen in Australia for a long time, but he's now stepped up to a new role, and that is an owner. He's an owner of Kialoa 2, a very, very famous old boat, full refit, couple of years ago, and is now campaigning it with absolute passion. Paddy, how are you?
Really well. Had a great time getting to Hobart, as we always do.
And what about that Ian Goldsworthy? What's his deal?
Mate, we have him sitting at the front there, pulling strings up and down, occasionally getting gnarly and angry, as you should hope, but organising things beautifully.
So, Kialoa 2 is a very, very famous boat, as those who don't know, was a record holder of the Sydney Hobart back in the day. What year was that?
No, it was Kialoa 2's sister. Kialoa 3 was the record holder for 20-odd years. Kialoa 2, which is this one, won the Hobart in 71, won line honours in 71.
Righto, so 71, so that was 2 years before my birth. Probably a lot similar to you, I'd say.
No, sadly not. She was built a couple of years after I was born. She's a 64 build, I'm a 62 build.
Righto, yeah. So the plan is with this boat, obviously, is to keep doing these regattas, but I heard that you were looking at taking it back over to Europe to do some stuff.
We bought her in Portugal, took her back to UK, did a big refit, and great thanks to Dave Sorden for that. If anybody needs anything going on in the handle, he's the guy. And we then did the Fastnet race, then sailed her by the old Clipper route, Cape Town, Albany and Sydney, to do the Sydney Hobart race, all in the same few months in 17. And then this year we did the big circle. We sailed from Sydney to LA and did the 50th Transpac from LA back to Hawaii, and then sailed her back again, and now we've done the 75th Hobart. So she's done a couple of miles in the last 2 years.
Well, if I could swear, I would. That is an amazing effort, and it's such a beautiful boat. I mean, I sailed against you actually in the Classic Boat Regatta. I was on that beautiful boat, Defiance.
Defiance. What a glamour Defiance is. She's absolutely beautiful. And again, her lovely owner, she just looks after her with a passion.
Nicole Shrimpton is a very big supporter of us, and I loved sailing with her and on that boat. But it's the same with you guys. You know, seeing you guys out on their water that day was just wonderful.
It was a great thing to see those beautiful boats sailing around. When we got into LA, we had this reception held for us at the LA Yacht Club. And as you walk into the front of the LA Yacht Club, it was a bit like going into the Royal Sydney Yacht Squadron. There's a model of Kialoa, a 2-metre long model of the Kialoa 2 and a 2-metre long model of Kialoa 3 in all her glory. Yeah. And the reception was held for us by Jim Kilroy's offspring and stepkids and some of the great and good of American sailing that learned to sail through Jim Kilroy on the Kialoas. It's an amazing, amazing thing.
Well, I guess, it's a passion that you have, and I'm really, really excited about it. And I guess all of us in the sailing world are really excited about it, to have that beautiful boat sailing. So congratulations to you and the team, and I guess we'll keep focused on you over the next few years.
I hope so, yeah. We've got a few races to do. We need to do the Newport Bermuda race, and then there's the 50th Fastnet race coming up at some case, so we'll have to have a go at that as well.
Well, we might supply you with some bar karate lager. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Righto, thanks, Paddy. Cheers.
Well done, you blokes. Nice to see you here.
Yeah, good work, BP. One of the conversations we have all the time is around making sure people use their boats. That's the most important thing when going sailing. Just get out there and use your boats. And sounds like Kialoa Tour is going to be the most used boat in the history of the world. So good work to that. So from there, BP rolled on to Johnny Hilderbrand, who is boat captain of Line Honours winner Comanche. So let's see what those two had to say.
Righto. So the Shipwright Arms seems to produce some of the best people in this sailing world, and we are so lucky to have John Hilderbrand, commonly known as JH, who runs Comanche. What a fantastic effort to get over the line first. It's always good. So, John, how are you, old son?
Yeah, the voices are tough, rough this morning, but, in general, we're pretty good. The crew held up well, and the social crew held up well, quite well.
Can you tell me why the voice is as it is? Or do you think you have a little cold, or...?
Right. The James Bogue throat, I think it's called, and the, a lot of orders going around the place as normal,
So the boat, as I believe has been sold, okay, the boat hasn't been sold.
I'm not sure on that one.
The boat is nearly in the process of being sold, but anyway, the point is that it's a wonderful boat. When I got on board today, it's out of this world, as Silas said today. How was it coming down the coast in 25 knots in those perfect conditions?
Yeah, look, this year was unreal. The boat loved the first day out and just gobbled up some miles there, so it was great. The transition's obviously really tough for us, but we knew we had more breeze coming, so that sort of made it a bit easier on us. And then the doing's always the doing, so we struggled a little bit in there, but luckily we had a nice buffer, so...
Can you explain to the listeners what it feels like when the boat's fully powered up? You've got a 100-footer, you've got serious amount of riding moment, you've got serious amount of power. When it's fully wicked up, how does it feel?
Oh, look, the boat's unbelievable. It's like a bucking bull. It just loves it. You can pour more and more riding moment into it, water ballast and keel, and it just keeps gobbling it up. Historically with the other smaller boats that I've sailed on, you always struggle. You're always shortening sail or whatever. But this thing, you can just keep pouring riding moment into it. It's a great machine.
So it just keeps powering up. So you're saying that where do you think the limit might be? Well, we came down the coast in 20 to 25 knots. Obviously, not too big a breeze, but my God, if you're driving that thing in 30 to 35 knots, is that where its limit is?
Yeah, look, you're running limits are a bit on the edge when you get to there. You start reefing and you start hanging out there, but you see the whites of the eyes starting to get brighter and brighter, and then the water in the boat sort of becomes pretty heinous. The water over the deck and the boys in the pit just cop it down there. It's a big funnel. So, you start getting limitations of just sheer amount of water you can push. You're pushing around. But you just keep reefing down and the bow keeps hanging out. You just have the right sails and you get the bow up and off you go. It'll just keep gobbling it up, no problems.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, mate. Well, congratulations on your line honours. It's always a big thing, and I think, realistically speaking, that the boat is a Hobart boat, and we hope to see it back next year. I hope we don't lose it to overseas.
Yeah, no, we'll see what happens. Jim's very keen to do another hoe. He obviously loves his Hobart races, and to win them like that, he's just ecstatic. So Jim Cooney really loved that one. That was a treat.
All right, JH, thank you very much.
No problems. Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
Good interview, BP. Bit of controversy there, though, throwing that one out. So is Comanche going overseas? Whew, that's a surprise. I didn't think about that one. All right, well, we'll flow on. It looks like BP's got a few of the Blackjack boys together to have a bit of a chat. Let's have a listen.
Righto. So here we are in the Shipwright Arms, and we're having a couple of quiet lagers. I've been brought up here by my beautiful man, David Cawthorne, and I've bumped into a couple of absolute idiots. So here we are. We've got Nocka, we've got Will McCarthy, and a new friend of mine.
Outside risk clearing.
Rissole. So here we go. Guys, so Blackjack. Big ride, big effort. Unfortunately, had a little bit of an issue. Are you allowed to talk about it?
Well, idiots, come on, idiots, 2 idiots, that's quite generous. But let's move on. But, mate, the Blackjack, of course we can talk about it. Mate, it's the best boat in Australia, the best owner, the best crew. Unfortunately, we put a lot of effort into this, and over several years we've been fighting to win this race. But, we thought we ticked all the boxes coming in this year, and, this is a sport, unfortunately it didn't go our way. But,
it's unpredictable, isn't it? It's one of those things that happens, and I saw that you lost your jumper spreader, and was that in a hoist of a Code Zero? Or?
I can tell you about that, but we haven't actually no idea how it failed. We presume about midnight, the night before we finished, we heard a little bang. We thought it was just a flog of the sail where we nosedived one wave, but they said, look at the rig, and it was me who looked up the rig with the light. But and I said, we're all sweet to keep going, didn't notice anything. But they probably should have got someone who
Who could beep and see? Nocka. So you've had it was a good race. I mean, obviously not as not how you wanted to pan out, but still positive for the future. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have a great team. We have a great vision for the future. We're both going to Europe next year. We're the most prepared we've been for this race and any other race, and it's really the only yacht in the world where a 46-year-old guy like myself can sail with his heroes. I sail with my heroes, man. Let me know any other sport in the world we can do that. Simon Daubney, Will McCarthy, Brad Butterworth, Jack. I mean, fuck, it was just a great team and good group of men, and we like to top it out to the good and the bad. And it didn't work out for us this year, but we're still tight and we're good for the future.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. It didn't work out for you this year. I had a long chat to Squarky. He was on our show last week before the start of the race, and he was confident that all the mods were a positive step forward. How did you feel about the mods? Did the boat feel better?
The boat definitely felt better. It felt way better. Like, all the mods were very good, and we're starting to learn the vessel. We learned the boat a lot more after this race as well. We're still always learning. So ready to send it to Europe and start the next leg of the campaign.
So the boat's going to Europe. I did a little bit of sailing on the boat in Europe when it was Ezimit Europa. Obviously, it's changed since then, but it's a good boat for Europe. But Comanche, Mediterranean, light airs, Ufka.
Oh, listen, we'd hope to like our chances in Comanche in the Mediterranean, but full credit to those guys. We sailed this race and we thought that first night when it was forecast light winds, we ran no watches that first night, and we thought as long as we can come out that morning in good shape, we might be in a good race. But listen, Comanche and Infotrack, to our surprise, and full credit to them, just wafted through that first night. So no, it didn't work out for us. But I think Comanche, guys like JH, the boat captain there, what he's done to that boat, and how he's reconfigured it and made it strong in the light, and still hadn't lost any strength in the heavy. I think they'll be a force to be reckoned with.
We've got another bloke here, who I haven't met before, Rissole. So what we need to do is we need probably Nocka, if you want to give a little bit of introduction to Rissole, and we'll then go to him and have a little chat to him about his sail down.
Rissole is a great man of sport, but we've just spent the last 3 hours having a bit of a long lunch, and I must say we didn't discuss yachting much. What we've been discussing is paddling out to Sound Pigs with a barbecue and on Australia Day and Anzac Day, and
Wedding Cake Island on Anzac Day.
Let me hand it over to Rissole. Rissole, the surfing legend, and he can explain more.
No, big wave. John Winning Appliances. He's the guru of.
Mate walked into a bar. Said, I got a steering wheel
He runs the 18s. He runs Greek Hay. We jump out. We go out in the. I've only done it once. It's only ever been pulled off once. There was a barbecue on the Sour Pigs. King Tides, John Winning Appliances, Steve Mothy, Mothballs. I had Benny Davis out there, Benny Davis, who was the instigator behind Bondi Rescue, Will McCarthy here, and we went out. Johnny Dean, God rest his soul, he went down in '98 in the Hobart on the Winston Churchill. But for half an hour, it was just bare rocks and King Tide, and we held a barbecue up on the steps, and as we were getting washed out, we're having a barbecue over our heads, and we had a sausage sizzle, and to us, that made the cover of the Sydney afloat, and that was fine. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, the Sound Pigs is one of the only points in the world that has 4 cardinal points. It's a rock in the middle of Sydney Harbour, and it very rarely is fully exposed. And so what they've done is they've gone and had a barbecue, and it was an awesome story. Hey guys, thanks so much very much for your time. Well done to Comanche, well done to all of you, and I hope to have a catch with you soon.
Mate, love your work, mate, buddy. Keep this going.
Yeah, big wave surfers rule, even with wild yacht sailors like Nocka and Will McCarthy.
Good speed, man. Nothing like sailing with your heroes. I'm loving it.
Yeah, good on them. Hey, what a bunch of legends. We'll catch up with you later. See ya.
I guess that's what happens when you catch a few blokes after a long lunch. That's a good one. I'll have to go back and do a bit of editing. So, and I don't edit. I hate editing. So, thanks, boys. You'll probably hear a beep in that one. All right. Next off is it's the last one. He's got the legend from Tasmania. This is interesting. Have a listen.
Okay. So I'm sitting here with probably the 2 most amazing people in yacht racing. Shero, who's decided to walk away from this interview, and Chaz from Taz. Chaz from Taz, for those who don't know, has done an absolute bucket load of stuff. He's just released a book called The Adventures of Chaz from Taz, and the Sydney Hobart really is not a Sydney Hobart if you don't catch up with Chaz for a beer. Chaz, how are you, old mate?
Oh, not bad, mate. Good. So anyway, they had a good run down the coast this year, but as it was like in 79, a lot of boats ran out of air, and so, they didn't win. But at that time, the big boats weren't as fast as today.
Chaz, you've just released a book, has a lot of stories. Obviously, for those people who are interested in understanding a little bit of the life of this man, need to buy the book, Adventures, Chaz from Taz. You should have a go at it. But is there one particular story that stands out? Is there one that sits at the top of your head and says, "Yeah, this is what makes me"?
If you read the book, it's in the early years, and like it's say B195 fractional rig built in Victoria, displaced 4,000 pounds, and I took it back to Hawaii after it went around the state race. And I got it there, and Doug Peterson and me became the owners of the boat because John Carash never paid us. And then they paid me, and the boat got set fire on because the insurance, so she got torched.
Righto, so you're saying that the boat disappeared?
Well, I just caught fire in a boatyard, and I was over there on the west coast, the east coast of America, but it got burnt on the west coast. famous boat. It's in my last story because there's 3 boats in my last story in that book that all only lasted 2 years.
I know a lot of people that you know. We've got Bryce Rasmussen, bless his soul. We've got Glenn Miles, the Silver Fox. We've got Fraser Matthew Johnston, the absolute legend. They all speak very highly of you, obviously. And in your sailing career, do you think, or do you look back and go, yeah, that was the coolest thing I've ever done in my entire life?
Well, it's like your mateships and all that stuff, and when I sailed on boats like Windward Passage and all these sort of boats, we had to sail from A to B. When you took off, like Sorcery, we finished the Fastnet race, we won the race, we had to sail at New York, then I had to jump on another boat, and we had to sail. You sailed all the way to Hobart to go and do a race a lot of the times. And a lot of guys from Hobart ended up sailing back on boats those days. Now, in 1972, I did the transatlantic race to Spain when Franco was alive and well. There were 55 boats, and there were 10 Tasmanians on those 55 boats. You'll never see that again.
And what boats were they?
Well, boats like Windward Passage, Sorcery, Blackfin, you name it. There were top boats in that. I was on a boat called Phantom. But Charisma did the race this year. They brought it out. It's got a different name, I believe, but it did the Hobart race. I don't know how it went.
Windsong.
Windsong was owned by Branson, and Branson was a shipping man, and he owned a boat called Running Tide he'd bought. Now, that boat this year that came out here, that was built out of wood, Bob Director's boatyard in New York at Mamaroneck, and it was built, and it was one of the only 3 Sparkmans and Stevens ever built with a clipper bow, and he got second in the transatlantic race 2 times, won the Britannia Cup, and was in the first winning team from America in the Admiral's Cup in 61. Raced twice, and then Caprici Hewen beat him.
Oh, my God. Don't you love this information? I mean, as a younger generation of professional sailors, we love to go sailing, but I have to say, talking to Chaz and talking to one of my good mates, Fraser, and all of those guys, these old stories are just wonderful. And Chaz from Taz and his new book, The Adventures, Chaz from Taz, Volume 1, Renegades at Sea, is now available in all good bookstores around Australia and the world. I have to say, thank you so very much for taking the time to talk to me.
It's not exactly like that because it's self-published, so it's in boat books. It's in places around the waterfront here. It's like in all channelers and stuff like that, but it's not like in every bookstore or the airport in the world.
Okay, so what that means is if you really want a copy of this book, The Adventures of Chaz from Taz, Renegades at Sea, you have to go to Boat Books in Australia or Amazon. It's available on Amazon. It's a wonderful book. It's a good read, and Chaz, I can tell you, has some amazing stories. Thank you so very much, mate, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
No problems at all, and I hope you all have a very, very happy New Year.
Good work, BP. Interesting. So there's some amazing stories hidden there in that from that man's head. In that man's head, we've sort of burnt through all BP's interviews. We still haven't found him technically. I've seen photos and I've spoken to him. I know he's going to do the King of the Derwent on the 3rd, so I'm just putting this up on the 2nd. So hopefully he's here. We find him again on the weekend. We'll do another bar karate. We don't take holidays. We just try and punch him out because it makes us happy. But because we love BP and appreciate the effort he's gone to, I thought what we might do as I sign off is play that song that we use as our theme song in its entirety. He wrote it, he sings it, and I thought let's just have a bit of a, because it's a BP special, let's hear the whole thing. Go for it, BP.
Jet through the sea, down the mountains roll ahead of me. In front of the crest comes under me, and I look behind, don't look behind. So little time, I'm gonna make it right. I'm gonna live my life, I'm gonna live it every day. Nothing in front, but picture black at night. All my stars are out tonight. Take me where the wind might be. Take me home infinity. So little time, I'm gonna make it right. I'm gonna live my life, I'm gonna live it every day. Well, it's alright now, 'cause I made it right. I'm gonna live my time, I'm gonna live it my way. My way.
Mr. Brett Perry, everyone. Thanks for listening. Speak to you soon.